All right, what's happening? The Florida Wrestling Room, World Wrestling Live, Wrestling Nation. Anybody out there across the world watching wrestling? We got a couple of our local Florida hammers here in the room, and they're pretty damn good. We've got Sebastian Malguizo. I practiced that, got it right. And Danny Martinez with Southwest Miami High School, both state camps this year. And they blew through the state. Danny only gave up 3 takedowns all season, which is unbelievable. And then 41 pins for my man, Sebastian. So, hey guys, thank you so much for coming on. I do appreciate this. Talk about kind of how your season went and what you guys have been doing during this time to kind of stay ready and stay prepared for these matches to open back up.
All right. I would say this season was a pretty good one. We had a good team. As a duels team, just as a whole, we did good. We took a trophy home. We took second in the state by, I'm pretty sure it was like 1 point. For the 5th place match, one of our teammates, Jeremiah, he stepped up to the plate. He beat the Fleming Island kid, which gave us the opportunity to take second as a team. So I think that was one of the major moments. But personally, I would say it was a pretty good season. I took 3 losses this year. One was at 2 of them actually were at the Christmas knockout. I ended up taking 4th there, like a controversial call in the 3rd place match. And then I took my other loss, which was the kid wrestling in the state finals, Jose Gonzalez. He was my teammate last year. He went to Southwest all 3 years, freshman, sophomore, and junior year, and then transferred out to South Dade. And we wrestled a total of 8 times during season and once at Seahorse, so a total of 9 times this year. And he beat me once in GMACs for a locking hands call in overtime. That was the closest match we had. And then I wrestled him from GMAC to Tri-County to districts finals, regional finals, and state finals.
So he's that guy, huh? It's like
yeah, he was that guy this year.
I was talking to, was it not Ethan, his little brother, Braden, and he said him and Hokey, I guess, they have kind of a thing going on too. So Danny, man, tell us about your season. Tell us what you've been doing now, and go ahead.
The season was pretty good to me. I worked a lot harder this year than I have in the past. And Coach Mick helped me out a lot with that because last year when I wrestled as an 8th grader, I took 5th in the state. And most of my losses were due to like me being weaker than my opponents. And this year, Coach Mick, he's a weightlifting coach at Southwest. He helped me out a lot with that. I worked out with him morning workouts. And then after school, I did everything I can with him. And then, yeah, so this season I worked really hard and it paid off. I went undefeated. And lately now I've been working out, and then I do practices with the Franco Valdez. He's he graduated from Southwest. He was a 5-time state finalist, 2-time state champ. And I've been working with him, partners at their houses. So.
Oh man, that's awesome. And you know, you two are Mick said to me, Sebastian's going to be loud and outgoing, and Danny's going to be more reserved and chill. And you both came across just like he said, man. That's awesome. both are leaders in your own way. I'm being told one more of a reserved lead by example, and one of a guy that's in the gym yelling at people to say, hey, come on, let's be great. So it's good. You guys probably feed off each other well that way. Are you guys close in weight?
Yeah, we were training partners for like a little while, like halfway through season, then coach split us up just to help some of the other guys to get into the postseason. But next year, I think we're going to be really close to weight. Like we weigh around the same right now. He's gained a lot of weight. I haven't at all. I can't gain any weight. So we might be training partners next year.
It obviously has done something. You both won states, right?
Yeah.
So good for you guys. So how long have you guys been wrestling?
You want to go first or me?
I've been wrestling since I was 5, so I'm 15 now, so 10 years. And
wow.
It's been a lot of hard work throughout the years, so it kind of paid off.
Do you think it's important for kids to start that young, or if kids were getting into it in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, they'll be
And
okay as
definitely,
well.
it helps a lot because all my technique, it's I don't know, it's pretty down. So I've been doing the same thing in all my matches, and it works for me. And it you just have to go intense because if you go half-assed throughout the whole process, you're not gonna get all your goals accomplished. So you just have to work really hard throughout everything, and that's the
Yeah.
way I've been doing it since I was 5.
I guess that's the old additive, practice how you play. Nice. Go ahead. Do they call you Sebas or Sebastian or Malguizo? What do they?
They mostly call my friends all call me by my last name. My teammates doesn't really matter. Because I'm my little brother. He's a freshman,
Nice.
and so they call me big. They'll call me Big Malguizo, and they'll call my brother Little Malguizo.
Oh, good for you. So go ahead, talk about how long you've been wrestling.
So I started wrestling when I was like 6. So I was born here in Miami, and then I moved to Georgia with my family. And right before moving back down, my dad, one of my neighbors that I went to school with, his dad was a high school coach up there. He coaches now at Buford High School, which they took second in the state in Georgia to Woodland Academy. And he was my first coach, and then I moved back here down south, and I lived in Homestead for quite some time. So Coach Duck at Gladiator was my coach, and he's been my childhood coach all along. And then my freshman year, I went to Columbus High School, and after the season, after the state tournament, I transferred out and I went to Southwest. And Coach Mick has been really good to me ever since I've transferred.
Nice. Wow. Talk about that, going from one legendary coach to the other. You were with Husk, right? And now you're with Ortega. Man, that's some knowledge all into your little body, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So going into high school, my dad left it up to me to where I wanted to go. So I chose the assistant coaches at Columbus. They went to South Dade. I've known them for quite some time. And so I decided to go to Columbus, and then I took 4th in the state as a freshman. And then I decided after states that it wasn't like the place for me, that I just wanted to be somewhere different around different people. So I just made the change after the state tournament, and I transferred to Southwest, and Coach Mick just brought me in and treated me really well. And the team, everybody just brought me in really well. It's like a brotherhood there. That's like a main thing. That's Coach emphasizes that a lot, brotherhood mentality.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think he had a shirt on when I interviewed him. It said brotherhood or something.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And being a kid from South Florida, I grew up down there, and I'm not Hispanic. I'm a gringo, as you guys call it. But I grew up around that culture, and it's hard to find someone like Mick in that culture that's quiet and dangerous, because most of them are very machismo and loud, right in your face, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. So I know. So Danny, you're going to be a sophomore next year, right? And Malguizo, you're going to be a senior, right? So we've obviously accomplished big things so far. What are your goals next year? Go ahead, Danny. You start.
Next year, our schedule is going to be pretty tough. Well, compared to this year, we're going to have the Ironman, I'm pretty sure. We're going to that. And we're going to go to the tournament at Palmetto Ridge that Blair's coming down. So I want to do good at those 2 tournaments. And then, of course, Super 32. I want to improve on my last year's performance. I want to place. And then states again, of course. I want to go undefeated. And I really want to dominate next year. Maybe get like Tech or something in the state finals. That seems cool to me.
Nice. And talk about what it means to kids to have these prep schools come down here and enter these tournaments and give you guys the opportunity to be able to wrestle with the best.
I think that's just really good for the wrestling environment, and it makes it tougher, and we work harder for it because we want to win those tournaments, and we're excited for it.
Want to put Florida on the map, right?
Yeah.
So go ahead, Sebastian, talk about it's going to be your senior year. I'm sure you have some big plans and goals as well. And I know that you got to start thinking about the next level, right? Going into college and stuff like that. So tell us what your plans are. if you guys hear any noise in the background, I've got GE here fixing my microwave. So if you guys hear anything like that, let me know.
So my plans are definitely to improve. Always looking to improve. Never satisfied. I think the first thing I told my coach after I won the state title, I was like this was something that had to be done already. So what the next big thing? NHSCA, just win that. What's after that? Fargo, because I'm really big into freestyle Greco. So Fargo, what's next? Let's try to All American and everything. Try to win stuff. So for me, next year is definitely Super 32. I've gone twice. Both times I went, I was injured, so I didn't have a really good performance. So hopefully, I'm trying to go in this year healthy and ready to go. And then how Danny said, this the Palmetto Ridge tournament, the Invitational with Blair coming down. Hopefully, get a couple good wins there. I know Jesuits going also. Lake Gibson, I think South Dade. So some of the powerhouse schools here in Florida. So definitely get good wins there. Then knockouts getting pretty tough. Danny won that this year. I still haven't won it. And so hopefully get that. And then Ironman, definitely place or try to win Ironman. That's a big goal for me.
Wow, good for you. Danny, who'd you beat at the knockout?
Semifinals was Yanni Vines. I think he took like second in Alabama, or I don't know. And then the finals, Powell Gilbert. I pinned him.
Was that like a Georgia kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, those Georgia teams are good, huh? They come down to that knockout every year. I saw it's crazy to talk to like Basile and Reina and you guys and all those kids and their losses. Well, obviously not yours, you won, but even Sebastian's like the one or two losses they had all year came there. So it talks about how big that Florida tournament's becoming, huh?
Definitely.
What do you guys now? You guys have experienced the biggest, toughest tournaments in the country. How would you compare the knockout right now, and what do you think the knockout needs to do to be able to be at that level as Ironman and Beast and 32 and Fargo?
Well, the difference between I would say for knockout and like Super 32 and like Fargo. So like Super 32 and Fargo are like really good. Like Fargo's an off-season tournament, and then Super 32 is considered a preseason tournament. So they're really good in that area. But to have like a good in-season tournament, like Beast of the East, Ironman, and then having like a Florida knockout, I think it's like on a good come up right now. It's gotten tougher every year. My freshman year when I went to Columbus, they didn't go to that tournament, so I wasn't able to wrestle there, compete. But my sophomore year when I transferred, I was able to compete twice there already. So it's definitely gotten tougher.
Would you guys say the difference is kind of the depth? Because I know I've heard some people say that, look, the finals and the semifinals at the knockout is as tough as any tournament in the country, but the bottom part of it doesn't compare to these bigger tournaments you guys go to. Would you say that's the truth?
I don't know about that. I know it's a tough tournament. Don't get me wrong. But I still feel like not Super 32, Ironman and like Beast of the East are still like on a different level, like a higher level, like a tougher
Right.
tournament.
Well, it's good though to have a tournament here in Florida that's
Yeah.
starting to get a name out there, huh?
Definitely. It's just got to keep. I know they're bringing in new teams every year, so that's good.
It'll be fun. So obviously you've transferred into Southwest, and then Danny, you were at a middle school prior, and then now you're at Southwest. What has Coach Mick Ortega meant to the both of you?
He's a really good coach. He trains us well. He has a set like schedule for everything. He's really organized, which is something I really like about him. So he always has everything planned ahead of time, and he's really on top of the ball game. It's good.
And what about his what has his strength training done for you, Danny?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's helped me a lot. I still go now with him sometimes. He's a really good weightlifting coach, and that helps out with me.
Awesome. So, and you, Malguizo, talk about obviously you made a change from legendary coach in Jim Husk, and now you're over with another legendary South Florida coach in Mick Ortega. And what has it meant to you now to be around Coach Ortega?
Well, he's brought me in really, really well. He's like he's a mentor to me. He helps me a lot. We have a lot of deep conversations. So he's someone I can go to, I can trust to talk to if it has to do with wrestling or with life or anything. So he's always there helping me. He's always in my corner. He's just there for me for anything that I need. Just wrestling wise, he's really structured with everything. Like everything, he has like a little book he has planned. Like at this time we're lifting, this time we're on the mat, this time we're done. Everything's super structured. So he's just, I like that about him, and that's how I like to live my life. I like to live structured and have everything planned and know what I'm doing the day before. So like that's something that rubs off of him onto me. So I just like it. It's just a good, really good coach for me.
That's awesome. Hey, don't sleep on Southwest, man. They got a hell of a program down there. So also, I know you guys are very involved in Eagle Empire, correct?
Yes.
What has Eagle Empire meant to the both of you and the growth and becoming the wrestlers you are today?
Well, definitely the program has gotten better since I started. So Eagle Empire is our summer club, but now we have a little kids club. Now we have a middle school club, and now we have our high school club. We have Coach Des, coaching the younger guys. So it's always running, it's always there, and we just travel a lot. So we travel to New York every summer. We travel to Disney duels. So and we're always competing. Last year we did we did Father Divine and Freestyle Greco States. So at least every time after the off season, we go to NHSCAs, we go to everything. So we just travel, and that's how we stay good. Like we keep bringing in kids. We just stay always training, always. So
Right.
it might be off season, but we're still training 4 or 5 times a week.
Great. Danny.
Yeah, the Eagle Empire, we train really hard. Like Malguizo said, we go 4 times a week, lift 4 times a week, and it's tough. And we grow a lot of technique because the college guys come down during the summer, and they teach us all of their knowledge they've learned up there in college. Like Alex Urquiza, Franco Valdez, Julian Hernandez, they're good wrestlers, and they teach us a lot. Mick gives us a break from his technique, and he lets them teach us over the summer. And we go like Disney duels, New York. Those are tough tournaments that we all love to compete at.
Nice. I heard you had a stud from Rutgers down there with you guys.
Yeah, Soriano.
How cool was that to be a kid? I mean, I know when I was a kid, to see somebody like that in whatever sport I was doing would have been like, wow. That had to be pretty dope, right?
Yeah, he came down twice. He came down the last 2 summers. It was pretty cool. You got to practice with him, and then after we were able to take him out to lunch, hang out with him for like the day. I know some of our other teammates, they like took him back to his hotel, ended up going to the beach with him and hanging out.
That's cool. Yeah,
But
Mick said
pretty
that.
cool.
Mick said he was a super awesome kid, or to you
Yeah.
guys, man. But that's cool. Hey, so I got a really quick question. Who kicks whose ass?
Malguizo kicks my ass.
Well, I actually last year was more me, but we were able to practice the other day, and it was a good go. It was like 3 minutes, but it was good.
That's awesome, man. I'm sure
Yeah.
you guys make each other better. So you guys ready? You guys ready for this?
Sure. Hit me with it.
I changed it up a little bit for you. So, Danny, favorite food?
Costa.
Pasta. Malguizo.
Well, sushi.
Ooh, man of my own heart. I like that stuff. Favorite drink?
Chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk. I like it.
Coke.
Coke. Nice. So the Canes or the Panthers?
Canes.
Canes.
Canes. I don't know anything about hockey.
You'll just go with him. All right. So Danny, your favorite wrestling move?
Probably outside single.
Sebastian.
Cement mixer.
Cement mixer. I have no idea what that is, but I'm going to look it up, or I'm just going to ask my son what a cement mixer is. I guess it's something like this or something, right?
Yeah.
All right. Danny, your favorite opponent?
Favorite opponent? Hmm. The toughest opponent I probably wrestled was Mark Anthony McGowan.
Yeah, he's okay, huh?
Yeah.
Malguizo.
Either Bradley Reyna or Nick Bazakis.
Nice. Two guys that aren't bad themselves either, huh?
Yep.
It's amazing when I ask guys, none of the kids that are at your level have said somebody that they can just dominate. It's always a kid that is someone that gives them a challenge, beats them, or vice versa. So pretty cool. So your favorite tournament, Danny?
Tournament. When I was a kid, I always went to Dixie Nationals, and I loved that tournament because it was like a vacation almost. Like after it was in Atlanta, so it was cool.
That's cool.
I
How
like that
about you, Malguizo?
Fargo.
Fargo. Favorite beach?
I guess
You got a bunch around you.
Miami Beach.
100%.
Miami Beach. I was born on Miami Beach, so I understand. Headgear? No headgear.
No headgear.
No headgear.
How about, did I miss something here? Favorite wrestler?
Tony Ramos.
Tony Ramos. I just reached out to him to see if I can get him on.
Yanni Diakomahalis.
Yanni, you saw him on the show, right?
Yeah.
That was awesome. Even for me, I was like a big kid. All right, folk style or freestyle? Freestyle? Both
Freestyle
of
for
them.
me.
Huh? Okay, and now, better place to hang out, Calle Ocho or Dade County Youth Fair?
Ooh. Dade County Youth Fair, but only to go eat food.
That's funny. How about you, Danny?
Youth Fair.
Youth Fair. I remember growing up going there all the time. Isn't your school is like right down the street from there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes away. Yeah,
Awesome.
It's not that far.
Well, that's cool, man. We got to know these guys. We got to know their foods, their drinks, their wrestling moves, where they like to have fun at. I need to do that more often with more kids. I think of something new every time I do this. So I figured throwing like the 10 questions at you like this or that. Figure we do something like this. This way friends can get to know who you are. So I guess when I come down or I see you guys, I'll have to take you for sushi and pasta.
Sounds good. Count me in.
Bring so when Coca-Cola, you like the Mexican Coke in the glass bottle or you like or just anything Coke?
Either one's fine.
Chocolate milk? You like the Yoo-hoo or that Hershey?
Hortons.
Huh?
Hortons.
Hortons. Nice. Hey guys, man, God bless you too, man. Great young men, doing big things in the sport. And I wish you guys nothing but the best. And this platform has allowed me to meet guys like you. So now I have more people to root for when I watch wrestling. So you guys have gained another fan. I'll be watching you guys as you go. And good luck to everything. And anytime you guys want to chat, please feel free to reach out. And thanks for coming on, man. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Anytime.